Welcome to the course Climbing the Corporate Ladder, how to get that well-deserved promotion. So we're going to be beginning here with module 1, where we're going to be talking about basic strategies for moving up the corporate ladder. For many, getting that well-deserved promotion can be a bit of an elusive thing. You work hard, possibly harder than those that have been promoted already. You're good at your job. You know your job better than anyone. You always have the company's best interest in mind. Then why has your boss not rewarded you with that well-deserved promotion? And if you're confident that your work performance is up to snuff and that you've been with the company long enough to warrant a promotion, it is time then to take a look as to why it hasn't happened. And quite often it's not your performance that is holding you back, but it's other factors that you may have overlooked or neglected. And in this particular module, we're going to be talking about 5 tips that will help you get that promotion. And these are typically those overlooked or neglected things. Now, some of these may be very common sense, but not common practice. Okay, so there's a difference between common sense and common practice. Common sense is something that a lot of people know. Common practice is something that people actually do. So yes, these tips may be very common sense, but are you applying them in your life is the deeper question that really should be asked. So tip number 1, revisit your last merit or performance review. Okay, where were the areas that your boss had suggested you needed improving? You know, did he or she focus the conversation more on one aspect of your job than others? This may be an indicator that you need to focus a little attention on improving a certain skill set. So yes, you think you deserve the promotion, but ultimately it's going to be your boss or your supervisor that's going to have the final decision. So if they feel you still have these weak areas that haven't been addressed since your last performance review, you haven't shown an improvement in this given area, then they maybe feel that you're not fit for that promotion. So revisit your last performance review. Tip number 2, do not eat lunch at your desk. Okay. You may think that eating your lunch at your desk while working through your breaks makes you look like you're a dedicated worker to your boss that may look at you, but it may actually be perceived as kind of antisocial behavior. It is important for your boss to witness that you get along with your coworkers, and if you're eating at your desk, that shows that you're not necessarily developing or cultivating a strong relationship and rapport with your coworkers. So don't eat at your desk. Matter of fact, Never Eat Alone is a great book entitled Never Eat Alone, and I highly suggest that for you. It just talks about the power of networking. So again, something that really complements the information you're going to be getting here today. All right, tip 3, participate in creating solutions. Another benefit of eating lunch in the lunchroom with your peers or going out for lunch with your boss or your coworkers is the fact that eventually conversations always turn to work-related problems. And being aware of these problems and taking part in the developing solutions will help you be a more valuable employee. So always think, how can I create a value-added situation? How can I participate in the solution formation process? And unfortunately, you can't do that eating at your desk. So moving on to the next tip. Never engage in office gossip. Although this is sometimes very hard to do, you should not be among the group who spends time gossiping about other coworkers. When someone tries to draw you in, make it clear that you're not interested. Eventually they will stop seeking you out for those type of unfavorable activities. Believe me, if someone's gossiping to you about other employees, you best believe that that same person is gossiping to others about you. Okay? So always keep that in mind. And unfortunately, when someone is gossiping, they'll go back and tell the person what you said, but they won't tell what they won't tell what they said. Okay, so this creates a this very unprofessional, toxic environment, and that's something that you want to really try to avoid like the plague, because your goal is to get promoted, not to get caught up in little gossip rings. And supervisors, directors, they really look down on the office gossiper, and they will engage that person because they're curious about what's going on in the work environment, but they have very little professional respect for that person. So you don't want to be that person, nor do you want to overly associate or engage in office gossip. Okay, and one more tip for you. Are you dressed for a promotion? There's an old adage that you don't dress for the job you have, you dress for the job that you want. So are you in fact dressing for the job you want? Or are you dressing for the job that you have? And I know this may sound silly, but sometimes a promotion is not offered because of your wardrobe. Take a look at the people who are getting the promotions. Do they dress differently than you? The boss has to visualize you in a position that you want. And they must feel that you must look the part for that particular position. Now, I know this sounds very superficial, but again, this isn't a course on the social dynamics and efficacies of social judgment. This is about how to get the promotion. So if you want to get that promotion, you have to play to win. And unfortunately, people do judge you based upon how you dress. Is your shirt ironed? Is your shirt tucked in? Are your pants ironed? Do you have ring around the collar? Are your shoes polished? These are things that people pick up on, even subconsciously. And if they don't have the best image of what they're picking up on, then this could result in a negative perception of you professionally. So no matter how well you do the work, they feel like you're not on par with that promotion, or that you don't deserve a middle management position or executive position because you don't dress the part, and they feel like you have trouble interacting with others at that level, or interacting with customers, vendors, or suppliers at that same executive level. So this is just something to be cognizant of. No one's ever going to come up to you and say you look like a hag, and you look like you had a fight with the iron, the dryer and the wash machine are boycotting. No one's going to come up with to you and have that level of candid, conversation, uninhibited candor regarding your dress, or your body odor, or your grooming. Do you cut your nails? Do you brush your teeth every morning? And again, like I said, these are common sense things, but they're not always common practice, right? If everyone followed common sense, society would be a much better place. But unfortunately, we are aware of the common sense things that are crucial, like, oh, well, I want some secret bullet. I want some silver bullet. I want some super hack to get me that promotion. Well, it's going to be common sense stuff. This course, I'm a very practical kind of guy. I'm a very realistic, practical, pragmatic kind of guy. So all of my courses are going to be about very basic things that you can do, take the information, and execute on. So I know that these are 5 simple changes, give or take, that you can make that have a big impact on how your boss views you and why he or she may be passing you up for promotion. So make the necessary adjustments to see if the position you're longing for is handed to you the next time it becomes available. And getting a promotion is not just about job performance. So that's another misnomer that we have. Like, oh, I work hard. Oh, I have great job performance. Well, getting promotion is a lot deeper than that. It's about the big picture and promoting yourself as a valuable part of the company. And as such, you're co-branded with that company. So you have to think of yourself as a brand. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later on in the course. So this concludes this section of the promotion course. I will see you in section 2. We're going to be talking about becoming a corporate Machiavellian prince. Hope you enjoyed this course so far. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message and or post a question on the discussion board. Look forward in seeing you for section 2.